Welcome back, rankers. Interesting story this week, and a big story for anybody interested in search engines and ranking in search engines. And thank you very much to John McClumpher for sending this one through. It's on Read Write Web. Say that 3 times quickly this time of morning. But it's about Google Index to Go Real Time. Now, just over a year ago, I did a story on, it was titled Why Twitter is Bigger Than Google. And basically, my point was over a year ago that Twitter would have such an impact on the way that we use the web that it would have more impact than Google currently had, that it would change the way we do things. And sure enough, you know, Facebook and Google have both scrambled to change their business models over the last year to keep up with the real-time feel of the web, which Twitter really catapulted to the forefront. Now, and last year we saw Google go live with social search, with real-time search and all these other things, Google Buzz, Google Wave, all these real-time tools. Well, the story on Read Write Web is about a protocol that Google has been developing, and for real-time syndication of content. So the idea being that, you know, as soon as you publish something, a hub gets alerted, and then that hub would then publish out to all subscribers. And what they're saying, what Google's saying now, is that they're looking at this technology to actually index the web. At the moment, the way that Google works, it jumps from link to link to link to link and finds and indexes whatever it finds. Under this protocol that it's developing, the idea would be as soon as you publish something, Google would come along within seconds and index that content. Now, we're already seeing it with some major sites where Google will, you know, 2 seconds after something's been published on it, Google will come along and actually index it and rank it in the search engines. So this protocol will take it to the next step where it'll be available even for small publishers. And the ones that, the publishers at the moment that get indexed almost at real time, you know, the big, the massive sites, the big news sites, YouTube, Howcast, which is a large video site. These things get indexed. In fact, when I do the show today, I'll publish to Howcast, and usually in under a minute, the content on Howcast has been indexed, so faster than any other video publishing site. So what does this mean to you, the publisher? Well, it means that all of a sudden what's going to happen is that Google is going to take in probably the freshness of your content into account when it comes to ranking. How much that freshness of content or frequency of publishing, how much that will actually influence into the ranking algorithm is anybody's guess. Hopefully it's not too much. But so what does this mean? Well, you've got to be you've got to have keyword authority through all your copy. You've got to publish frequently. You've got to have the structure of your site right. The site has to be fast. It's got to be, what have we learned? What else? You've got to quack like a duck. You've got to, there's a whole bunch of things you're going to have to do to keep up with Google. Or we've got some excellent duck quackers here that can help you if you can't keep up with all of that. But basically, what Google's always trying to do with these technologies is encourage people to publish in a certain way. And this sort of real-time protocol of publishing really puts a mockery to sites that used to be, or we used to call virtual ghost towns, which would have nothing added to them over a long period of time. A real-time protocol like this almost says that you better be publishing on a regular basis, whether that be fortnightly, daily, weekly, monthly. It looks like if you're in a competitive keyword space, you're going to have to really keep up with Google as far as getting your content indexed and getting it ranked. And one of those things is going to be how relevant you are to the real-time environment. So if you're in a keyword space where there's a lot of real-time activity going on and you're not publishing regularly, you're going to get left behind. And just finally today, Joel, one of our developers here, just pointed out to me, he was asking me about SideWiki. If you're unfamiliar with SideWiki, it is basically, if you've got the Google toolbar, you can do it. I'm on read write web here. I can write an entry. SideWiki, I thought it was almost dead and gone until Joel pointed out that, hey, do you see the SideWiki is now in Google Webmaster Tools? So there you go. But I've never used SideWiki. If you've used SideWiki, let me know. The reason that Joel brought it up to me this week was because it's been put under the Google Labs area in your Webmaster Tools. And basically, it allows people to comment on a web page when they visit it, and it's a plug into your browser, it's a plug into the Google toolbar. And so that anytime anybody else visits that same page who has SideWiki installed, they can see what other people have said. So we're just going to test it out this week, and and in SideWiki in Webmaster Tools, you can actually add a message that everyone will see if they're using SideWiki and they land on that page. So show the following text as the page owner entry for stuartmedia.biz. Okay, does anyone really use SideWiki? And the reason I said that I didn't think anybody actually used it, and now Google's put it in their Webmaster Tools, was because Google also last week turned off SearchWiki. And if you're unfamiliar with SearchWiki, that was a technology that Google put together last year, which allowed you to basically order the results of your search, and that they've relegated that now to something that no one's actually using by the looks of it, so they're not going to be using it either. That is it for this week's show. If you do use SideWiki, let me know. I'd love to meet someone that does. And remember, stay fast and get real time with your updating of your website. Thanks very much. See you next week. Bye. I nearly forgot to say, if you are in Australia in April, you must get to Connect Now in Sydney. Fantastic conference on everything social media, emerging technologies, enterprise, basically everything it says there in the setup. Connectnow.net.au. I'm speaking at it, but you've got Pro Blogger, you've got Laurel Papworth, you've got Gary Vaynerchuk, you've got Miss Rogue, you've got Stephen Johnson. Anyway, cast of thousands. So Brian Solis, a whole bunch of people there. Gavin Heaton, Servant of Chaos. Anyway, it is in Sydney in April, and I'm looking for the exact date here. And, oh, there it is there, 7th to the 9th of April, staring me in the face. Lucky it didn't have teeth. So, thanks very much. We'll see you next week. Bye.